Alright, so now that we covered back-of-words models in great detail, let's advance to the next model and introduce recurrent neural networks. Why do we have to introduce a new modeling approach? That's because of the big limitation of back-of-words models. So back-of-words models have this big limitation that the sequence order is lost. So what do I mean by that? Let me illustrate this problem with an example. So remember how we constructed the back-of-words vectors. We took the input text and then we put that through the vocabulary to get these individual count vectors. So let's take a look at these two example sentences now. The first sentence is, "The movie my friend has not seen is good." The second sentence is, "The movie my friend has seen is not good." So if you look at this carefully, you can see both sentences have exactly the same words. The only difference between these two sentences is where we placed the word not. However, it completely changes the meaning of the sentence. The first sentence essentially says that our friend has not seen the movie, but it's a good movie. And in the second case, we essentially say that the friend has seen the movie, but it's not a good movie. So totally different meanings. However, if we now take this back-of-words approach, both sentences will result in the exactly same back-of-words vectors. And yeah, this is a big limitation of the back-of-words model, which is why we are now introducing these sequence models, starting with one-dimensional convolutional networks, and then we will go to the recurrent neural network approaches. So what is a one-dimensional convolutional neural network? Remember from the previous unit how convolutional networks work. We have these windows that we slide over the input. Now the only difference is, instead of having an image as an input, we have text as input. So we have a window that slides over the text. And yeah, this is really how one-dimensional convolutional networks work in a nutshell for text data. So one-dimensional convolutional networks are not very popular anymore for text. So let's advance to the next model, recurrent neural networks. So we can think of recurrent neural networks for modeling sequences as a time series approach where we process the sentence from left to right, from the first word to the last word. So at the first glance, if you think of this blue box here as a hidden layer, it almost looks like a multilayer perceptron. But what's new is that we have this connection here between the individual steps. So each step is connected to the previous step. So to explain this better, let's actually directly compare RNNs to multilayer perceptrons. So here's a multilayer perceptron where we have an input, a hidden state, and the output. And the input is connected via the hidden layer to the hidden state, and the hidden state is connected to the output, for example the class label, via an output layer. Of course, we can have more than one hidden layer, but for simplicity, yeah, we have only one hidden layer here in this representation. Now here on the right-hand side, I'm now showing a recurrent neural network that looks almost identical to the multilayer perceptron. The only difference here is the recurrent edge that I'm drawing here. So what is this recurrent edge and how can we think about it? So actually the recurrent edge is a very, let's say, condensed representation of a recurrent neural network. So on the right-hand side, we see the exactly same recurrent neural network. It's just a different visualization or the unfolded representation. Yeah, and in this unfolded representation, it's easier to see the connection between the hidden layers. We can see, in contrast to a multilayer perceptron, each hidden state is connected to the previous hidden state from the previous time step. Now the general structure is like that. We still have inputs, we have hidden states, and we have outputs, and now we have this time dimension which creates the connection between the hidden states. So how can we now use this recurrent neural network architecture for natural language processing tasks? So there are many different ways we can use it depending on the type of task. So there's the many-to-one approach, the one-to-many approach, and the many-to-many approaches. And what exactly these different approaches are will be the topic of the next video.